Welcome, Virgo. Sorry about that. I was just putting down my screen. Welcome to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. I know I'm on a weird time, but every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do my TV show called Rewired, and you can catch the um, all the episodes on my other YouTube channel. And so I just was up and wanted to jump on and do a general message. All right. Now, if you're new to the channel, know that every time I do a reading, I begin using my deck, the Psychic Soul Healer deck, because I want to look at the spiritual energies. So what I had put as a title for this video is what your person's intention is for you and the relationship, what spiritual wounds and blocks you both have, meaning, again, not just their blocks, your blocks, but the blocks together, and what you need to do to heal. What is the spiritual message? All right. All right. Now, if you're new to the channel, anything that you need to know about the channel, you can find in the description box. All right, all important links are there. Now, if you're not a Virgo and you're interested in other zodiac readings, you can check out my Psychic Soul Healer YouTube page, and the link will be in the description box. All right, without further ado, let's get popping. All right, innovation. That's a Joker card. That's like a nothing card. Sometimes I actually will read that in with the reading, depending. Magical realism. But only if I'm intuitively called to. If I'm not, then I won't read it. Diplomacy. So far, all the cards are pretty much about you. What's going on in your life right now. How you're feeling about yourself. So I feel like you're creating. You are, again, innovation is all. So you're on your soul's path. Or again, whether or not you're on your soul's path or you're just, again, enjoying your job or enjoying your hobbies, there's a sense of creating and feeling really in the flow of the universe, because magical realism is when we see the signs and the synchronicities that the universe gives us. So a lot of times when we are on our soul's path, we don't know what's going to happen next. We're just putting out the energy the best way that we know how. And we are, again, creating. There's a creative genius inside of all of us. So this is really positive because, again, I always pull to look at the energies first that we're dealing with, and we're dealing with Virgo energy. And Virgo energy is, again, when they're creating, it's they're in their element. When they're at work, they're in their element. When they're making money, they're in their element. And there's a sense of going with the flow, again, of the universe, of not that, like, there's no problems. Everything seems to be falling into place. And diplomacy is all about coming from a high vibration and thinking about your future. So you're creating now for your future. So you might not be seeing the fruits of your labor right now, but you are definitely in alignment. So this is also probably saying that you're feeling very alone, however, and that people are not really vibing with you, or you're feeling like they're not vibing with you because your mind is always, again, creating where you want to go, what you want to do. So this is very, again, positive energy for you. Now let's see where your person is. I put the cards back in the deck. This is a little bit of a different style of reading. Again, whatever spirit calls to me again to do. And because I always like to look at the spiritual blogs, I like to look at the triggers, I like to talk about soul integration and transmuting spiritual wounds and making them into spiritual gifts. And the only way that we can do that is when we understand, again, energy and the wounds and what the behaviorisms are from those wounds, because those behaviorisms are what actually is what blocks us from manifesting. It's actually what is preventing us from manifesting the life and the life experiences that we want to have. That's why it's important. Okay. Now, their energy, let's see what their energy is. Honor, manic, deluded, self critical. Well, their energy obviously is not as positive. And the reason why is because I feel like they are karmically connected to something that's really not honoring them. It's keeping them in a low vibrational energy. It's again where they are being very judgmental on themselves, and again the way that they're thinking, and I believe their environment is um, making them feel very imbalanced again, where they're manic is a sense of this anxiety and a sense of trying to control and a sense of looking over your shoulder and a sense of trying to do like 10,000 things at one time, and in this you're not really doing anything really productively or well. Um, so it's again this energy. So I kind of am feeling like Virgo, you're connected to somebody that is in a karmic relationship that is on its way to its end. And the person that your person is connected to is doing everything in their power to create an environment that is really hostile, making your person have a lot of anxiety. And it's mainly because it's at the time when your person met this bird, their karmic, they were not, they didn't have a good self-esteem. They didn't, they, um, they were very easy, and I believe that they were manipulated through like sex, and they were manipulated through then after sex, like children and outside things. I believe that they were manipulated to begin with, and now it's they're trying to get out of this relationship. And like I said, the person connected to them is doing everything to make them not, move forward. So if you're feeling like your person isn't around you, it's because emotionally and mentally they're not. They're not saying that they're not thinking about you. What I'm saying is your person is like they're a little bit confused because on one hand they they feel as if they have to honor, that person that they were connected to because they were with them for so long, right? So honor. They wanted to honor them. They wanted to do the right thing. But when you don't love the person, it's hard to do that. And the person that your person's connected to, the karmic, knows that they don't love them. So there's a lot of this manic and crazy emotional energy because of it. So you may say, what does it have to do with me? Well, again, you're connected to them. And if they're showing up in your reading and you're not, it's because they're thinking about you, you're thinking about them. And you might be saying, why aren't they around me? Why is my person not around me? Because what I'm feeling right now is that they're not, because they, again, are dealing with this situation right now. So, how do they feel about you? Like, what is their intention with you? Because right now, there's no intention because they're dealing with a lot. But what is their future? Play. I feel like it's not so much that they want to use you, but there's a sense that when they reach out to you, that they want to have a light type of relationship because what they're leaving is so intense and so toxic because they overstayed in somewhere where they really knew that they should have left a long time ago, but they honored it. They felt they were being manipulated, they were being gaslit, they were confused. Your person still doesn't have a good sense of self. But when they met their karmic many years ago, they really didn't. So, you acquire possessions, you have children together, there's experiences. So there's a lot of different emotions there that were confused for caring, is what I'm feeling. And now it's like your person feels like, well, it was just a lot of manipulation. What is this? I'm just curious. Defend. I'm just going to put this over to the side to see whether it has any relevance. Power. Yeah, I feel like that's like, again, your person is dominated by someone in their environment. Almost like I'm feeling like a it doesn't necessarily have to be a father, but somebody that has the energy, and that could be a woman too. They just someone that's overbearing, and possibly because at one time your person lived with somebody, a parent that was overbearing, that again, that had the same type of personality, the same difficult, controlling and manipulative way about them, but again was a parent. And so the karmic is almost like bringing your person back to that original trauma when they felt powerless. So it's again, they're with a karmic that they've actually given all the power to and not even realizing it. But because the karmic has such a deep and horrible and controlling personality, and like, makes your person have a miserable existence when they're around them, they are holding the power because they're acting like they can't do anything. But I feel like if this card has any relevance, is because they stayed to defend what's theirs, to again, like they, like almost like they had to stay in a situation for a certain amount of time. And if they would have left, the consequences would have been worse. So it's not so much that your person wants to have just a playful, non-committal relationship. No, I think that if I really want to go deep, that they were in a karmic relationship. And when we're talking karmic, we're talking codependent. We're talking that one person is emotionally and financially usually not, I wouldn't even say getting their needs met, because neither, in a codependent relationship, most of the time, neither party gets their emotional needs met. Not fully. Not fully. I feel like in this particular relationship, they made it work because it stayed together for a long time. But it was mainly because they lived two separate lives. But there was a benefit, and the benefit was financial. So, now it seems that, that your person, the person that's connected to you, wants to leave, doesn't want to be in this connection anymore with the karmic, and the karmic is having a problem with this. And so the karmic is not just going to say, okay, yeah, you can leave. What they're saying is they would like relinquish their power. And they relinquish their power by not just threatening them, but again, by saying, I'm going to take all your stuff. You're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your rights to your children. So they didn't want to leave that situation. So if you've been in separation from your person for long periods of time, understand it's because I feel like that their life pretty much is falling apart. And it always does fall apart if you've been married to someone for long periods of time, and it was bad, sour for a long time, and it was just held together by, money. Then understand there's a lot of anger. I feel like there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of resentment, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of the karmic is really unleashing their anger. But understand this was the karmic that's decided to stay in a relationship with your person. Your person just didn't have the guts enough to leave, felt that they couldn't leave, possibly for financial reasons, or again because of the children. But nevertheless, now that your person really is like, I don't care, I'm really leaving, now everyone's kind of like picture a battlefield. You have two different sides that are battling. That's where your person's energy is right now. They're nowhere in the forefront. They're nowhere. If you're not feeling them, this is why. It's like living in the same house while going through a divorce. That there is a lot of money and there is resources is not a fun thing to do. Kindness. So again, wanting to look at you again for emotional support. So you may feel like this person is only wants to be your friend, only wants to play, only wants to keep things light, because they're not going to share everything about their divorce. They're not going to share their problems with you. That's not who I feel that they are. I feel that if they would want you to see them in only the best light. Remember, this person has always had people take their power away. This is a trigger. So they're going to overcompensate a little bit where they are come across like they have it really all together, that they, don't have any problems, that you only see them in the best light. But that's not 100% true. So being that it's not 100% true, know that your person is only going to let you get so close. Wisdom. And I feel like you have the wisdom. They have a little bit more wisdom due to, again, what got them into that relationship and what not to do again. And they are chalking it up to that. But I feel as if they feel that you will realize why you've been in separation from them once they talk to you, that you'll be able to tell. I feel like this type of wisdom here is more of an intuitive knowing that you have when you're dealing with a soulmate, right? It's again when we dealing with soulmate twin flame. We know when they're lying. We know when their energy is near. We know them when they're still attached to us. We know when there's someone else there. We know it's again there's a knowingness. It's ESP, connection to the heart and mind. Soulmate twin flames have it. Well, guess what? Again, when your person really cares about you, there's a knowing. That's all that I can say. So if you're like, well, how do they feel? Are they afraid with me because they haven't been around me? Yeah, I think that there's a logical, analytical side to everybody that It's like, yeah, I'm nervous that you're not going to be here because everyone suffers from abandonment, and that your person that's all that they have had is abandonment. Being that if relationships wind up not working out and then someone wants to control them and have power over them, then they don't identify with love in a positive way. That's going to be a psychological trigger. That's going to be a spiritual wound. That means that they possibly might have even sabotaged this relationship a few times. And so now that they're in separation, they have thought about it, because you can't break unconditional love. Like, it's technically impossible. So they tried to walk away, they tried to forget about it, but they couldn't. So they're still holding on. So even though they know that they've acted shitty, and mainly because they've been really wrapped up in whatever this karmic situation is, that I feel like they were never really honest about their situation, and that's why they treated you shitty. But they feel like you'll know that even though their actions were what they were, that they always had feelings. And that's the wisdom. It's again that inner knowing, that psychic knowing that we have. So this is actually the beginning of another deck that I just noticed, because I have my other decks here. So let's choose, because I think this means, and if I have to choose from this deck because I have it in my hand, might as well. Might turn around and say, all right, well, what are the blocks? What are the blocks? And the blocks would be scheming, like them trying to figure out how to come back, or afraid that you would scheme, because again, they're connected to someone that's very manipulative, that's very controlling, that knows that they don't really want to be with them. So it's, again, they're used to people, again, manipulating them to get what they want. So they might always be looking at you like you're doing that even when you're not doing it. And that could be a trigger. And flighty, like, because they're acting this way, there's a sense that you might be like, okay, well, I don't want to commit to you because I don't trust you. Again, I don't trust you. You're flighty, you're in, you're out, like, again, and it would trigger your sense of abandonment, is really what I'm feeling. So you don't want that, because, like I said, and that would be because a lot of times, and what I'm just feeling is your person wants to come back to you. They have feelings for you. Do they know how deep they are? Obviously, they know how deep they are, but are they confident in love? No. Do they know how to act? No. And should they be coming back to you as anything more than a friendship right now? No, because they haven't even healed from this situation. They were in a karmic relationship for a long time, afraid to leave. They finally have the guts to leave, and all hell's fury like let loose on them. So they've acquired a lot of karma due to the fact of staying in that bad relationship and treating that karmic person badly. Again, denying themselves, but catering to, again, a karmic to keep it together, just to appease the karmic, because the karmic didn't care whether or not they were in a relationship or not. They just were like, keep giving me the money, keep making it look like we're together. The facade was more important to the karmic than the actual relationship. So your person stayed connected to someone because they were manipulated, kind of, too, because the person, again, they have children with that person, they have a house with that person, they have other things. So again, so understand the person wanted to leave, but there's a sense of, again, the self-critical of which we pulled in the beginning. It's like, why did I do all that? It's like, because I honored this person, but I wasn't honoring myself. And now, again, the anxiety, because they were gaslit the whole time. Like, again, their own thinking has become diluted because they were gaslit and they were staying with a person that, again, doesn't really care about them, but kind of just wants the benefits of being with them, to the point of, guilting them, shaming them, manipulating them. So, like I said, when someone gets what they want, and then all of a sudden you tell them no, it's not that easy to get out. And understand, whenever um you challenge a person's reality, which your person is, what their karmic is like, I'm not staying here, we're not staying together. So you'll get what you get, but then I'll go on and I'll be able to make more money because I haven't had a problem doing that. However, I will not be with you anymore. So again, and how it's going to look for you. How is it going to look for you? Like, you're going to be single. You're going to not have as much money. You're going to have it. So working on your person's, like working on the karmic's ego a little bit is like, this is what they're thinking. They're not thinking, oh, you're leaving, I'm going to miss you so much, I love you. They're not thinking that about your person. They're like, the hell you are. I own you. I own you and everything that comes of you and anything that's attached to you. I own you. So it's very distorted energy and it's very toxic energy. So your person has been dealing with that a lot. And so when that happens, like I said, you're not going to feel them. So let's ask already, because it's like, enough about the person when they come back, or what is going to happen? What are the feelings? What you know what? Even better. I want to see, because I have a even better. Let's first and foremost find out the hidden truths. Let's see, like, what do they feel about you? Because it's like, okay, I see all this shit with them. So is this like they can't think about you because they're so like engulfed in this? I mean, because it showed play and it showed the other things. So I hope that you can forgive me one day. So they're nervous again because of the separation. And I also believe that they weren't honest, 100% honest. So I think that they want to come back, but they're nervous. And that's what I said before. I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. And I think the spiritual lesson, like that's what I was saying before, that what's done is what's done. Your person isn't like thinking regrets. It's more like karmic. They realize that it's karmic and they realize that it's a spiritual lesson. And I think even with you and them, the connection that they had, and the fact that they weren't honest with you, the fact that they tried to perceive that they were someone that they weren't because of that, they're a mess. It's a mess. Their life is a mess, is made them look at their own life. If they didn't have feelings for you, they would have never even looked at their own life. They could have went staying like that forever. I feel you, even though we are apart. And that's, again, that soulmate connection. Like, again, the cord is never broken. Even though you both tried to walk away, it was very difficult because it's a soul relationship. And I believe that your person still holds on to that, even though they're not talking to you, even though they may not be like extending any sort of offer or doing anything. I believe that they hold on to the connection, because ESP is through the heart and mind. So there's an emotional connection there that's still, again, even though you guys aren't talking, still there. Because you wouldn't even be on this video listening to this video if, again, you weren't like hoping. And what I'm saying is that even though they're not doing anything, they can feel that energy. And that's really comforting to them, because I feel like they've had a lot of problems with love. And possibly you too. You're a mirror of whom what comes into your life, and soulmates are mirrors. A lot of times I want to feel that way again. It's again, they are like reminiscing, like being nostalgic about your connection. So they are thinking about you. But I think it's also part escapism, because what they're in right now is hell. And so, they're thinking about you a lot. They're feeling that they didn't handle that situation good. Again, they should have been honest. They should have been open. They should have put all the cards out on the table with you from the beginning. But I feel as if they think that they can talk to you, and that they'll again, is a knowing that you'll understand. Destined connection. It's again, so there's a sense that first of all, they can feel that it's a destined connection. So there is this internal knowing of, I know that things are going to work out, even though it looks a mess. I know if I talk to you that you would understand, and I believe that you would. And I believe, because it's a fated connection, and it's got to be a fated connection because it's a soulmate twin flame relationship. Now, soulmate twin flame relationship, they're hard relationships. They're not easy, because they're going to pull out every wound that you have. It's going to make you look at every single hurt, every single shadow you have, but through unconditional love. Because again, this connection, again, ESP, that I can feel you even though we're apart, they say. Well, it's because it's a destined connection. And destined connections are ones that are, it's a two-part reason. One, to transmute spiritual wounds and make them into spiritual gifts. A lot of times we can't do that. We do it through unconditional love. That's number one. Because the person triggers us, but you love that person so much that you're willing to work through it, to return to the problem, to do the work, which a lot of times we wouldn't do. So that's number one. And also to create, because you wouldn't learn how to compromise. You wouldn't learn how to trust. You wouldn't learn how to forgive. You wouldn't learn some of the hardest spiritual lessons, and understand those spiritual lessons didn't happen with your person. You have blocks that were created in your childhood. You have blocks that were created in your adolescence, all phases of life. You've had karmic contracts that you've had to play out. You've had karmic connections that you haven't learned from. And so these shadow aspects of self, you believe are part of you. You believe that you're detached from. Well, your person feels the same way, just with different wounds. Your soulmate and twin flame is not, oh, they're your other half. There is no such thing. However, everywhere where they have strength, you have a weakness. Everywhere where you have a weakness, they have a strength. So usually what you'll notice is your twin is like either very logical and analytical, and they're very good with structure and business. And then you have the intuitive and the creative one. And the two are able to create and balance. And through creating, through the fire of creation. Again, in alchemy, it's passion that creates fire. Well, it's creating, transmuting is again through alchemy, which is fire element passion with your soulmate, you're able to transcend the limitations of the mind that were created from trauma. So it's this is a destined thing. So it's not that your person doesn't feel that everything that they did was wrong. They do, but they also feel a connection. So, and this card just jumped out. And you know what I mean? I hate it when cards fall out, and I'm just curious because now I have to look at it and see what it is. There is something I am hiding from you. So it's again, I believe that that was before, not now. That it's again, your person hid a lot from you because they were embarrassed. And I believe that when they come to you, will they be 100% open and honest about every little detail that went through their with their divorce? No, because with you, no, they don't want to show you the bad aspects of themselves. They don't want to like create drama. They just want to almost like forget about it. They want to be more on like the light and happy side. They don't want to talk about the everything that they just went through. So, and I also believe that they are not good at articulating. And I also believe that this was emotional, that even though this relationship has been dead, when you're still with someone and you have kids and other responsibilities that you take care of with this person, and you've cohabitated with this person for as long as this was, it's again, there's many different emotions. So it's almost like I feel guilty that I don't want to be here. I feel guilty and I'm also comfortable here. So I'm comfortable in my home. I'm comfortable being able to see my children. I'm comfortable going out in my backyard, doing my rituals in my home. And everything has to be changed now. Everything has to be uprooted. So they delayed it. And because they did, well, the karmic consequences are severe. And they didn't want you to know everything. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for them. So the karmic, when is this karmic situation for you and them? Let's look. Just pull and say, what is the point? Words have hurt me in the past, and that's why I fear talking to you. So it's again, this what I was saying. It's like again with the karmic and what I said, that your person again didn't tell you anything. Because they can't. It's like they emotionally and psychologically they think too much, and they judge themselves too much about their past experiences. So they were always trying to shade the conversation, leave pieces out of the conversation, and then it's almost like too much work, because they also knew eventually you were going to ask questions. So it's like, I don't really know how to even explain this shit show that I'm in. And that, so they need to learn how to speak. They need to learn, like, again, how to be able to communicate. Love like ours can change the world. So it's again, even though they acted like that, it's like, again, they believe that this love can change the world. They believe that you're their person. They believe that they can somehow fix this. I wanted to just pull from one other deck, and I don't know if I can even find it. Let's see, let me see. Okay, well, I'm going to pull from this heart deck. That wasn't the deck that I was looking for, but I don't know where that deck is. Anyway, well, I'm going to pull one more just because I like this deck. I know in my heart we'll be together one day. That helps me trust Let's keep working on us. See, that's what I was saying before, that they can feel you. They know in their heart that, again, I know in my heart we'll be together. It's again, it's like because it's a soulmate twin flame relationship. So it's not, again, that everything that they did, that they don't know what they did. They also know that they're going to have to pay for it because they weren't really there for you. And that they know that you wanted to build that relationship and they were stubborn about it because, again, of all that. I feel like they didn't know for a long time what they were going to do with that situation. They stayed in it for a long time. I think they actually tried to stay in it even longer until they just couldn't fake the funk. And that will happen with a soulmate twin flame. Why? Because that relationship is supposed to end. It's karmic. Your person already learned what they needed to learn. And the person, their karmic, has not learned because they still think that they can control everything. And what they're going to learn is that they can't, that a twin flame trumps a soulmate and a karmic mate. So it's, again, that it trumps it. So, I think that, for a long time, the karmic was able to manipulate them. And now, like I said, the shit has hit the fan because realizing can't control them anymore. Party's over. Like I said, but it's not something that your person planned. And it's not even something that your person wanted to act on. They tried not to. Okay, so the one that came out, a message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Again, soulmate twin flame. And this one was stuck to the back of it. So, normally I wouldn't read it 2 cards to end, but because it was stuck to the back of it, I'm going to, like I said, because I put the rest of the deck right here, like I said. But these 2, like it's one flipped over, so I didn't realize it was stuck. So we're going to read it because Spirit wanted it. And what this is, new beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. So again, this person is going to come back. I believe that you're the catalyst for that. You're the catalyst for their healing. Again, twin flame, soulmate relationship, but your person stayed in a really bad relationship for a long time. So I think that they said that it was over before it was actually over. And it was just too complicated. They have a hard time communicating, and it even said it right here. So again, it's going to be a test of forgiveness for you in spite, but it's a soulmate twin flame. So I'm not even going to pull because I know that you're going to want to go back to it because very rarely, this is going to be a general reading, so I know that somebody out there that says, no, I'm not going to go back. But the majority of times, we always go back to our soulmate twin flame. It's, again, because it's unconditional love. You can't fight it. You can get mad at it. You can walk away. You can, again, curse at it. You can jump up and down and not like the way that they handle things, but you'll always revert back because unconditional love cannot be manipulated and it can't be destroyed. And that's the whole thing. In the fact that you meet your soulmate twin flame, they never really abandon you. Even if you choose not to stay together, that unconditional love is always there. That person will always feel like home to you, even if they hurt you. It's like, yeah, you'll stay upset. You might feel hurt for a certain amount of time, but you'll revert back to caring about them. It's just a soulmate twin flame is karmic, and it's there to teach you all about unconditional love. And it's there, again, comes into your life so you can transmute your wounds into spiritual gifts, so you can transcend the limitations of what you believe love, how, like, whether or not you can even have love. A lot of times, again, we don't believe that we can have love. And so our soulmate twin flame teaches us that we can, because even though we try and break it, we walk away, we sabotage it, we fuck it up, it's like it still tends to like go back together. But understand, not everybody in this lifetime, in their lifetime, is going to meet their soulmate twin flame. If you are, it's because you're ready to evolve into higher states of consciousness. It's because you've done the work. I'm going to leave it there. If you resonate with this, Virgo, please let me know. Give me a like. Comment the word forgiveness in your comment bar if you want to win a free reading with me, and subscribe to the channel. Those three things will automatically get you enter into winning a free psychic reading with me. You'll know if you won if I wrote the word winner underneath your comment. Okay, and if I did, then I'll reach out to you and ask you what day works for you, time that we can actually jump on line and do a live stream video of your reading. I always do all giveaway readings online, live stream, so that there's never any, problems, any discrepancies. Everyone knows who won, and this way everyone benefits. Because what you'll notice is you'll channel out a message, and it won't just resonate with the person, it resonates for a lot of people. So it's always what's in the highest good for everyone, not just me, not just the person that wins the reading, but everyone. Thanks again for joining me and sharing your energy with me. And until next time, be true to you. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.